Hi everyone, it's Cards by Rachel here with another card making tutorial using the Sassy Club products for the stamp stop. We'll be using the Fantastic Mouse stencil, the Bejeweled 6x6 paper pad, Skyliner die, cutie bow and mouse gold foil plate. We'll be using Enchanted Friends, Tiny Helpers, Fantastic Mouse, Sassy Mouse and Happy Mouse today. So as you may have figured out by now, we will be making two cards with this amazing Skyliner die. First, I left in some coloring for you guys with my Olo markers. It's an alcohol-based marker. I did ask in the last video if you guys prefer to watch the coloring or you don't like watching it. And I did get some comments back from you guys that you do love watching the coloring part. So, of course, I left it in. I'm just starting with my own markers again. The link for them will be down below. They have an European warehouse now, so no VAT, taxes and stuff like that. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a small commission if you use it. Here you can see I started with her cute little bow and then our the hair, and as always the colors will be on the caps on that pink piece of tape. Let me tell you guys, I had so much trouble choosing which what stem sets to use with the Skyliner die, because I feel like, well, any Sassy Club stamps work so well with this. Like, it can be a Skyliner ride of your choice, basically. And I was going back and forth of what to use, and I decided on some stamps I hadn't used in a while, some oldies but goodies, so to say, instead of some of the newer ones. And this one, actually, this cute little princess with her 7 small friends, was the first guest designer spot I did for the Sassy Club. So it really brings back awesome memories. It was really a dream of mine. And Sandra said, yeah, you can be a guest designer. I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm so happy. And this was in that release back then. So this Venom definitely has a special place in my heart. So I thought it would be fun to use this. And also a chance to show you guys the awesome paper pads from the Sassy Club. The paper is like such good quality, the print, but also it's a bit thicker than most other brands' paper pads. So especially when die cutting, it definitely adds a bit of stability to it. And here you can see my favorite one of the 7 cute friends in the movie. This one is definitely my favorite. So I thought I would do it, this cutie next to our little princess later. As you can see, this time I chose to go over my alcohol markers with my colored pencils again. I got some questions about what pencils I'm using. I'm using Prismacolor and Castle Art pencils, but you could also use a Polychromos from Faber-Castell, or I heard about another new, more affordable brand that also has some soft core pencils. I will see if I can find it and then link it down below in case you're interested in getting some, you know, good quality pencils, especially for the price they be asking for it. So I will link it in case you guys want to try out some pencils over your alcohol markers or just pencils, whatever you prefer. I'm just adding some shading as always with some darker colors than my alcohol markers, and then just blend it out with basically the same, sometimes a little bit darker color, so the alcohol marker provides the highlight basically. It's always how I go about it. I'm no expert at this, but I do love the look, as I told you guys before. Which of the 7 little friends is you guys' favorite? I'm very curious. I found this little one so cute. Although I must say, the bit cranky one with the red hat also is definitely one of my favorites. He's just so fun and such a sweetheart on the inside. So I'm very curious about this. I also think this would make for a very cute A to C set. By the way, these two stem sets. Yes, again with the A to Cs. I know you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, I just I hope you guys are tiring of my ATCs, but I'm just addicted to making them, so I cannot help myself. But I think these will be very cute for that as well. Like make 8, even you could even do 9, because on one of the stamp sets the prince is on there as well. I think that will make such a fun little HC set. I'm here adding some of my beloved highlighter again to all the images, by the way. But yeah, that would be fun. And it might be fun for my quartet game thing I started. I did a kitty one last month. So this month I want to do 4 more and then build my own game. So I might use these. That would be cute as well for that. If they fit nicely on the die, I need to check that. But anyway, here I'm just also adding some sort of star highlights to the gems. Just to give them a little bit more of a shiny feel. Here you can see how I attach those inside pieces. Because the die cuts that, I used the bejeweled paper to cut out the red, the yellow and the blue pattern paper. And then I just cut it again out of white and then use the cloudy stencil to ink that up and use some gold splatters. Here you can see we attached our little princess and then my favorite cutie is gonna go right next to her. As you can see, that's the reason why I didn't color his shoes because they will not be visible anyway. I also added some gems to all 3 of them because it is a big part of the fandom and the sentiment I'm gonna use will say you're a gem. So there needed to be gems and I think it just fills up the space and the cards a bit more because I love a good busy card anyway. So I just attached them to all of the characters and inside their little, what that he called, Skyliner cards, I suppose. And here you can see I'm just gonna put that ink blended back piece on, inside basically, and then I'll just tape it down at the top and the bottom. And I'll just use my glue as well to kind of lift that up again and then attach our little characters so it's extra secure. Then I'll add a piece of tape on the bottom part as well there. And that just makes it nice so you can layer it. The only reason I'm doing it like this is because the two on the left, one on the left and one on the right, our cute little person will be overlapping it. So inlaying it didn't feel quite as handy because I wanted to make sure everything lines up properly and stuff. If you just do one, or you make even a bigger card and do only 2 next to each other, it could be a thing, then you don't need to do it like this. You can just stick down the colored or the pattern paper in this case and inlay that ink blended piece. But for now, I thought this would make assembling the card just a bit more handy, is my way of saying that in a very complicated way. It just made the way of assembling the card easier. It also comes, the Skyliner die, with, of course, the piece the card to be able to hang in the sky. I got it out of some brushed black cards, so for Spellbinders. I will link it down below as well. We have all the brushed colored cardstock available for Spellbinders, and it isn't as shiny as a mirror cardstock, but it does give some shine. It's a bit hard to see on video, but in real life it's a really nice shine. So I'm just gonna attach it to our middle card there. And here you can see me putting that on a ink blended background piece. It is 8 inches by 4 inches. Yeah, and I'm just holding it down and adding glue on the right one. So I can make sure it's all nice and straight and lined up, and also that it doesn't cover up our sentiment or our cute little friend there. And then we'll do the same, like realign our middle one, and then in this case line up that left one and make sure that your is still nicely visible. And that's my other favorite that I was talking about. I said red hat, but red shirt it was. I looked it up. Always when you start coloring, you get confused and doubtful about, oh my god, what did I look like? Even though I saw the movie like 100 times in my life, but still checking. And now we can actually add our middle one. You could also do this with some foam, But for a change, which is very weird, I decided to just lay it on flat actually, because this card is already quite heavy. I used heavyweight cardstock for my England background, the Sassy Club, the inlay pieces as well. Then the bejeweled paper pad from the Sassy Club is also quite heavy. So, you know, I didn't feel like adding any more weight because 2 postmarks is sort of fine. I'm used to that, but 3 would be a bit much. And I'm also using that cute apple and that little birdie there to fill it up. And that's basically the first card. Now for the second one, we will use the mouse fandom. And this is that Fantastic Mouse stencil. Of course, it's not wide enough for a slim line, but we are gonna do it anyway. Here we first use a very, very light touch of breeze. I just don't want the rest of the sky to be completely white. But a bit of white is fine in the sky. Like the clouds always have a bit of white in them anyway. So I'm just using a very light touch. Then we're gonna align that first stencil. This is a 2-piece stencil set. And I'm gonna use a scrap piece of paper there to put over the parts that I don't want any ink on. So we can just realign our stencil in a bit. Here I'm using Ocean from the Step Marker to color up our cute little hats. I was doubting if I would do this in blue or in pink. You will see the 3 Skyliner pieces we made. We did a pink one, a light blue, and a dark blue one. But I decided on blue anyway. I mean, it can still be pink if you prefer, of course. Yeah, I just decided on blue because in the fandom the hat is blue. So I went with what I know basically, which is very unlike me now I think about it. But you could definitely do pink or purple or whatever you want. But I decided on just doing the standard blue, like how it's supposed to be. Here you can see, I just realigned it. And yes, you can see a little bit in the middle that it's not supposed to be a slim line. Like the head sort of stops all of a sudden. But most of it will be covered up anyway with our 3 little cards, right? So no issue there. Then I'm using the Lisa Horton metallic silver ink and a bouncer. Like I told you guys before, metallic inks works the best with bouncers, I feel, and with a brush. And I'm just using that to fill in those cute little stars and moon details. And here I'll grab it off. And off camera, I believe I did the other side. Or do I show everything? I'm not sure. Yeah. Here we go. Nice and cute. And of course, we also need to do this to our white inlay pieces. So I'm just following the same steps. Very light touch of that breeze. And then align the stencil and, you know, do the finish the hats on there. I didn't show everything because it will be very repetitive, I felt. Here we have some more coloring, this time of our cute girl mouse. And this color combination for her face, by the way, I used on all the 7 little friends and the princess as well, and on our other 2 mouses. So in case you were wondering, this is definitely my favorite skin tone color combination. So yeah. And the reason I decided on this Venom is because I haven't used it in a while either. Well, I mean, there might be some that I haven't used in a longer while, but this has hot foil plates. Let's just be real. We'll talk about the real reason here. I love a good hot foil. I really do. And these 2 beautiful hot foil plates are just so cute. And they work with this Venom. So, you know, I decided to use this one. Because actually, this one with the girl mouse, the Sassy Mouse stamp that is like, I used it with the arcade die. And also with the bow hot foil, cute bow hot foil. So it's not been that long since I used it now I think about it. The male mouse, a bit longer. But anyway, the obviously reason I used it was because of the hot foil place. I always love a good shimmer. If you see the cards, like I use this kind of silvery opal hot foil. I believe it's actually called opal from Spellbinders, but I'm not entirely sure about that because I always take the packaging off to store them more easily. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But here you can just see me adding some, you know, shadows and stuff again with my pencils. Now I think back, I actually used the Fantastic Mouse stem set not too long ago as well. It was in the A to C video after the art special in Nijkerk. So not that long either. So yeah, just because of the hot photos, you guys. I also realized now Wilma, she is in the Stem Stop Facebook group as well. Actually did a set of A to C cards using our princess and her 7 Little Friends fandom. So someone else thought of that, and I just absolutely love it. I think it's such a good set to use for that. Yeah. Okay, I will not talk about HCs anymore in this video, I promise. Okay, here we're almost finishing up our cute mouse. Of course, we will be adding some of our beloved white highlighters, because why not? Also added like very small white dots on her bow. You could do them a bit more prominent if you would like a bit of texture, or you could color in some cute little hearts. Here you can see that cutie bow and all of the mouse gold foil plate. Did you see that opal shine? It's just so good. You could also use, I think I've showed that in a bit, but you could also use that inside piece with and just have the whole card be hot foil. But I would like my cards to seem more see-through basically, so I did use that stencil on the inside pieces as well. Here I'm just kind of laying this out, and the reason I'm doing this is because I do want a sentiment on this again. But I have to make sure like the middle card with our girl mouse doesn't overlap the sentiment and so forth. So I'm just kind of laying out on my card and seeing where I would like that sentiment to go. And the sentiment I will be using is from the Happy Mouse set. Yeah, and it's Make-A-Wish. And I also added some of the balloons and the party hat. So, it will really be a nice birthday card, I feel. And here I decided to do the sentiment on that card with our cute little girl mouse. And I just scooted. I kind of want her in the middle, but then there was space for a sentiment. So she will be scooted to the right side and our sentiments will go to the left. And I'm just using my Misty and some jet black archival ink to stamp my images. Talking about that black archival ink, it really makes very, very crisp sentiments. It stamps so well for sentiments. It's my preferred one. But it does stain your stamps. I don't mind that personally, that they stain. But if you do, then I would not recommend this one. In a dark blue card here, we'll add our fantastic mouse. And he will actually be holding a cute pink balloon to kind of like make that pink show up in more places than just on our cute little girl mouse and her card. So here we go. And the attachments of these will basically be the same as we did before, tape and some glue on the extra glue on the characters, so it's nice and secure. And I must say, I have a hard choice deciding what is my favorite card for between these two. The hot foil is just a thing, but then again, I do love that other fandom. It still has a special place in my heart, but I am curious which card you guys will like the most at the end, so be sure to let me know. Or if you like both equally, can also be the case, of course. But I think it is fun to have an extra birthday card in my stash, because I am running low on those. So here you can see me just adding, all the same steps basically to our other 2 cards there. And like I said, you could do the inlay as well. It's just, this is my preferred method. And here we are just going to realign them. But before we do that, I'm going to attach these small little pieces to the hanging mechanism so I can try a bit. And I like to use my reversed tweezers for stuff like that to hold it in place and I can try a bit better. And I am going to attach this one to the inlay piece first, because I want to make sure that the sentiment is still very well visible and our cutie is not overlapping it. So I think I'll wait. Well, first that other small piece so I can try. Very smart of me, I must say. Let it try while you do other work. Don't always remember stuff like that. Yeah, I think, yep. Oh yeah, I'm just using a piece of tape on the top part. So the down part stays open so we can still squeeze her in. And then we can just glue her down and make sure we keep that sentiment nice and free of our image. And then we'll just do the same again on the back. Put a piece of tape there. And now we have our 3 cards finished. The only thing left, I think, is, yeah, attaching this mechanism piece so it can actually hang and looks like a Skyliner more. And I believe I will try to put my reverse tweezers on it again to make it good. And then, whoop, off it went. I remember that because I was like, oh no. Okay, there we go. I'm just holding that for a bit like that. And will you look at that? I am happy that I added a bit of the pink. Pink and blue is always a good color combination, but apart from that, it's just all the things blue. I mean, I do like a good monochrome card, but then we also have the red for my shirt because I wanted to stay true to that character. So I think the pink is a nice addition. Let me know what you guys think. And here we can gonna attach our left one as well with his cute party hat. I love these accessories. I told this before in my Get Cracking video with the Christmas sweaters. But that Happy Mouse stamp set also has that Christmas hat I use a lot. And I just love that set because the party hat Christmas set with some masking, you can make any character into, birthday party or Christmas sets. Here we attached our middle piece. I'm just holding it down for now, but then it's our finished card together with the other one. Here we can look at some close-ups. I know that this one isn't great, but hey, this is better. Well, guys, I hope it's all clear how you can use the Skyliner die and that you like the fandoms I chose for this. Let me know which one is your favorite. I cannot choose this time. I like the hot foil, but I like the other fandom a tiny bit better. So just let me know. I'm very curious. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Have a crafty day. Bye.